And the evening. Right. And there are 12 members present, which means that at this stage, for the consideration of most of the business, we are quorum, because 9 is the quorum. Then it gets slightly complicated, and I'll explain it after we've done declarations of interest, because that's where it gets interesting. I'm duty bound to read it out, unfortunately, again. But here we go. That's where it gets boring. Right, so this is to receive the declarations by members of interest in respect of items on this agenda. Members are reminded that in accordance with the Localism Act 2011, they're required to declare any disclosable pecuniary interests which have not already been declared in the Council's Register of Interest. It's a criminal offence not to declare a disclosable pecuniary interest either in the register or at meeting. Whilst not a legal requirement in accordance with Council Procedure Rule 10, and in the interest of clarity and transparency, members should declare any disclosable pecuniary interest which they have already declared in the register at this point in the meeting. In accordance with Part B, Section 2 of the Code of Conduct, members are required to declare the existence and nature of any other interest as defined in paragraphs 8.1 or 92 of the Code of Conduct. And therefore, let's take the declarations of interest. I'm going to kind of sweep around the room in order. Right, so, David.
Thank you, Chair. I'm declaring an interest in the item to do with Aldi, because as a member of the Carnival Committee we have a pecuniary interest in one of the parties involved.
Thank you. Carl.
Thank you, Chair. Same item on the agenda, same reason.
Thank you very much. Claire.
I am a member of City Council Planning Committee, so I have to go out when it's item 6, not because I have pecuniary interest, but because I'm on the City Council Planning Committee.
Thank you very much. We've got one. Tracy? No declaration? You're not planning me?
No, I'm far from planning. I was shopping there, but I don't plan.
Right.
I do. What do I say?
You do have a declaration?
Now you're
Right.
putting the pressure.
Yeah, go
What
on.
do I need to do? Hello.
Hello. Yeah.
I would need to declare an interest as the same as Mr. Councillor Brayshaw's. Okay.
Right. Thank you very much. Terry? No? David? You don't have a declaration, do you? You're not City Council planning as well.
I'm not on City Council planning. I won't be allowed to be in that.
Wonderful. Max?
Thank you, Chair. I'm on Lancashire County Council Development and Control, and I'm on Yorkshire Dales Planning Committee.
And just for clarity, because this has been highlighted by a colleague, you are also a member of Lancaster City Council Cabinet, and that is going to be an issue that's going to go before Lancaster City Council Cabinet on Monday, Cabinet at 6. So, just for clarity, that's the reason why 3 of us in here will be declaring an interest as well in that specific application.
Thank you.
You can, yeah, question.
In terms of Councillor Patterson's declaration, I don't think she needs to declare, number one, she's on the Yorkshire Dales National Park, because there's nothing in this agenda or the planning item that relates to that. And similarly with the County Council Planning Committee, there's no, as far as I see, no County Council issues in those planning minutes. And if all is going to be considered by the City Council Cabinet on Monday, and we're on the Cabinet, obviously that will be interesting.
At this stage. Yeah, Carol.
Chair, thank you. Obviously, I'm also on City Council and as Chair of Planning.
Check what it is.
Okay, so just for you to record that, but obviously the pecuniary interest is probably the primary interest here. Okay.
Fair enough. Yeah, so you kind of got double handed.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Ian? Yeah.
I'm on City planning as well.
Thank you.
Wow.
Right, and Brendan, over to you, sir. As soon as you highlighted this in the first place.
On the cabinet, we're considering it, I'm sure.
Okay, so cabinet for you. And to continue in the interest of transparency, I'm also a member of Lancaster City Council Cabinet, and we'll be looking at this item and making a decision on Monday evening next week. So I will also declare an interest because of being on Cabinet. Right, thank you for all of those declarations. Now then, as a result of that, I have the following thing to announce. Because of all of those declarations of interest, that would mean that Council at that point would cease to be quorum. So what I'm proposing to do this evening is move item 6, the Planning Development and Environment Committee minutes, into item 7. So we're going to swap 6 and 7 around. So we deal with 6 last, okay? On all of the other recommendations from David's committee, you can stay in, so we can decide on all of that. On the item pertaining to the Aldi development, then and just that one planning application, we'll deal with the other ones, but we won't be able to, will we, because of the number of people from planning. Yes, one.
So there's 12 people here. Forget the Aldi, because we're going to go in quarter.
We're going to go on court, right?
Yeah.
There's Councillor Cliff, Cosler and Mrs Bradshaw have an interest on the whole planning item anyway, because they're on the City Council Planning Committee. So those three will have to leave for item 6, that we always do. So there will be 9 people left for the rest of the planning. So you can consider the rest of the planning recommendations. The Aldi recommendation you'll go in quorum, so we can't consider it. However, in my view, there was a minute passed at the last meeting of council which said, I'll read it out in full, that in future the clerk submits observations recommended by the planning committee to the city council prior to being considered by the council. If it was envisaged that the city council would consider an application prior to the next meeting of the town council. So in other words, we didn't think it would arise in this kind of a context because they're all lots of declarations, but that means the same thing. So we can't have a debate on it or have a formal resolution on it tonight. But the recommendation of planning, by that my interpretation, I can send that to the City Council tomorrow. We will then put it back on the agenda in the July meeting of the Town Council for it to be approved, ratified. That's what the last bit of it says.
Yeah.
I'd have to tell the City Council not being through council, but that may allow me to say.
We've done it all together as a committee, haven't we?
Yeah.
So I've handed out the suggested response from the planning committee, but we can have no debate on that at all tonight. So we can move forward.
Yeah. So you've got that. That will go forward to City Council through that minute that we passed it on as council meeting. So those concerns that have been expressed won't be lost. They will go
And
forward.
it can be revisited in the next meeting because there was
Yeah.
a lot to give. Yeah.
Absolutely. David?
Thanks, Chair. I know we can't debate it, but
I just wonder if I can propose that we minute our thanks to Councillor Bates for the time and effort to put in to prepare it.
Absolutely, yeah. So noted. Debs?
Can I just ask, just because I don't understand, what happens if the next meeting, then it's brought on the agenda at the next meeting and it's the same numbers? What will happen? Will it ever move forward or will it not move forward?
does it even need to come back? Because we've already submitted it, so even if we don't agree, it's too late.
It's come back as a minute, wouldn't it?
If the deal with council orders questions, or 4 questions together, theoretically your questions won't in court again and again, it will never get discussed, and that's how it would be. And Councillor Hughes' question, I don't think we could change it because we've got other resolution from planning allows them to send it, but I think we need to put that in our formal minute book at some point. If that makes sense. So we need to be there.
So does it ever get resolved?
Yeah, it will be eventually. It's just a matter of getting the right numbers in
When
there.
ours is built, very resolved.
Yeah, let's hope it's not that bad. Right, okay, so,
Can I just ask a question?
yeah, sorry Max, yeah.
Thank you, Chair. When is it coming to planning and how are we going to carry on like this? Because, we're all councillors and look at that, all them empty seats. And, it's just absolutely ridiculous. It's embarrassing. I know it's not our fault, but
The answer to the first part of your question can be provided by the Chair of Planning, I suspect.
I suspect I can answer that as Chair of Planning, and the answer is I've only seen it coming through on the weekly planning list, and it was actually down as a delegated decision. So unless somebody calls it in, then in theory it won't come before the planning committee. So if anybody wants to call it in, like the ward councillor or any other councillor, then obviously the councillor's perfectly able to do that.
Yeah, thank you for that. I'm I'm not going to discuss it, but the only thing to clarify on your observation, let's call it, about absence or otherwise of other members, is that that is all subject to section 82 of the Local Government Act. As we're all aware, the 6-month rule that has been debated at length in this chamber over a number of months. The attendance or effectiveness of one councillor versus another one is irrelevant, sad to say. But section 82 is what we use as our acid test on things, and there's nothing else to say about it, is there? Yeah. Right, lovely. So, let's get on with the rest of the business. So, item number 3 is the minutes of the meeting held on the 18th of May. You'll find those on page 2 to 17 of your supporting papers. Are there any amendments that need to be made, or observations, or can we approve them as a true record of the events of that evening? You're moving them, David, thank you. Do I have a second there? Claire, thank you very much. Okay, well in that case, move to the vote. All those in favour of approving them as a true record, thank you very much. That's clearly carried. Right, this part of the meeting would be the public participation. There is no public, so there's no point to adjourning or having a public participation moment on this. That's fine. So we now reconvene for the reason why we've come back for this extraordinary meeting in the first place, which is the annual return 2016-17, which is starts at page 18 in the supporting papers, and I'll hand over to David to walk us through.
Thank you, Chairman. I'm not going to apologise for the meeting, this extra meeting, but primarily it's because of this first item. Because the council appointed a new auditor, he couldn't come and do the annual audit until after the last meeting of the council, and we have to get all our books to the external auditor next Monday, and the last piece of that jigsaw is this document which the internal auditor signs and fills in if he's happy with things, which he was, and then the council has to formally approve the annual return. So the annual return is a factual document for the most part. It must list all the figures that you agreed in your accounts at the last meeting, plus the page that the internal auditor is now completed. And then if you agree to that, you authorise the chairman and myself to sign it in our respective roles. It's one of those call it bureaucratic things that the law says the council must have a resolution to pass the annual return, even though most of it's factual. So that's why we're here tonight. I'll take any questions on it.
Are there any questions on the audit report? David?
Thank you, Chair. It's not actually a question, I'd just again like to propose a vote of thanks to the clerk and the assistant clerk for all the hard work in obtaining this from the auditor under troublesome times at times, and I think we've both put a lot of hard work in.
Right, so do we have to pass a resolution on top of that, which is
Yes,
quite right to do? So we pass a resolution to accept these,
It's to accept the annual return and to authorise you and me to sign it.
to sign it. Right, there you go, so that's the resolution.
Move it.
Move it. Thank you, sorry. Seconded by many 3 from 4. Right, can we have a vote on that then in that case? All those in favour? That is clearly unanimous. Thank you very much. We will therefore sign them off. Thank you very much for that.
Quick comment so people know.
Please do.
One new person here. So what happens now is all that information goes to the external auditor, since any specific new member, and it has to be there. They set the date when they wanted everything. So that's the 26th of June this year. We're in a period of time now, so that goes to the external auditor. We're in a period of time, it's on our notice board, on our website, with a 6-week period where the public can come and inspect all our books, invoices, everything, cash book, checkbook, everything, bank statements. So we're in that period now, we're halfway through week 3, and that runs out in 3 weeks' time. And then during that period, people can then write to the external auditor if they've got a question about something. So that's what happens next. And then in September, you usually get a report back from the external auditor. In terms of the internal auditor, his report, actually his written report came yesterday by email. That will go to the Finance Committee on the 10th of July to be considered. But he hasn't raised any issues, which is really good, but it will still need to go to the Finance Committee to be considered.
Okay. Are we happy with that?
Yeah, very
Fantastic. I'm Daddy Elsie, as they used to say. Right, now we're going to go to new item 6, which is the old item 7, staff approval process. And again, I'll hand over to David. This is page 32 to 33 of the supporting papers.
Thank you, Chairman. So as I said, the meeting was really called just for the item we've done, but with the changes that happened in the elections, and there's now effectively 4 groups on the council, with Council Pillar being elected, so that the council can undertake, in my appraisal, you need to review that policy so it's nailed down in the minutes what it looks like, because the previous policy said it would be 1 member from each group. So I assume that's how we want to continue. So there'll be 4 people on the panel rather than 3. But then that's not as simple as doing that, because you also had a policy that people couldn't sit on the appraisal panel unless they had the appropriate training. So because of the change in membership, there'll be the 2 members from the Liberal Democrat and the UKIP group haven't had the training, so they would need to do it. And then depending who the other groups nominate from Personnel Committee, because there's 1 other change with membership. So, for instance, Councillor Hutton down Personnel, so she was nominated to go on the appraisal panel. She would need to do the training. So, I think you need, in my view, keep the policy 1 member from each group and authorising to organise the training. Now when we've done that, you can do the appraisal. So it's, unfortunately we can't do that next week. I mean the appraisal, and we need to sort some of that out. But obviously at the annual meeting, those who were here, certain members of the public was asking about staff appraisal, and we do need to do that. It's just the process is holding that back at the moment. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Any questions on that in general? No, I understand we've got a proposition from David.
Thank you, Chair. I think in light of recent events, I think it's important for us as a council and also for our employees that these appraisals are undertaken promptly. And I think it's also important that we keep a certain continuity about them. So I've heard what the clerk has said, but I think that this council tonight should consider appointing the 2 remaining members of the appraisal panel from last year, which is Councillor Page and Councillor Brayshaw. I think we should appoint those onto the appraisal panel now, and I think we should invite the UKIP councillor and the Liberal Democrat councillor also to be members of that panel. Therefore, all the groups will have the opportunity to be represented on the appraisal panel. That's my first part of the proposal. My second part of the proposal is that the appraisal panel should meet and appraise our employee within the next 4 weeks. Any longer than that, I think it's unreasonable. If the 2 members of the if the 2 new members accept their positions on the panel and can be trained in time, then I think they should be part of the appraisal process. If not, then I think the 2 current members, Councillor Page and Councillor Brayshaw, should undertake the appraisals by themselves. So that's my first 2 proposals on this.
Just clarify that, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, is Debbie going on the panel?
No. We need...
Is Debbie alright with that?
I guess, to be fair to the employees, I've had no training. So would I be given the right information, or would I be delivering the right process?
You couldn't sit on the appraisal panel until you had the training, that's the thing. And the only 2 people that were on that panel last year that have had the training are Councillor Page and Councillor Brayshaw. But the other 2 had the opportunity because Councillor Ogden and Councillor Pilling can go onto the appraisal panel, but only once they've had the training. But I don't think that we should be delaying having the clerk's appraisal whilst we wait for training.
So we'll be appraising with 2 members.
Yeah, 2 members that did it last year. There was only 3 on the appraisal panel last year.
Is that, what I'm saying is that alright in the constitution?
We would just check it in the previous minute just to make sure that we don't get some kind of process issue wrong. We would just double check that to make sure it's absolutely kosher.
If it says 1 from each group, then it can't be. Technically you can't. If it says 1 from each group, you can't appraise, can you? Tell us 1 from each group.
You can have a committee that's made up of 1 from each group. Whether they all turn up to that committee or are able to undertake the duties of that committee is a slightly different kettle of fish. But we'll double check that minute just to make sure we're not going to get caught out with it. Max?
Yeah, I just wondered when the training will take place and what if, I'm not saying that they won't, but what if these other councils don't turn up to train, what will happen? Will it just go ahead with 2?
Okay. So in November 20, I'll hold that question for a minute.
Yeah.
In November 2015, Council made the following policy. I'll read it out in full if that's alright. Council introduces a robust staff appraisal system with the appraisal of the clerk being undertaken by 1 member from each group, made up of the chairman and vice chairman of the personnel committee and 1 member of the MDI or the independent administrative group. That the appraisal system be introduced once members have received appropriate training. That's what it says. Councillor Brayshaw's proposal is still for 1 member from each group. It would slightly go against that bit of the policy that says the chair and the vice chair of personnel, because personnel hasn't met since the annual council meeting, so it hasn't appointed a chair and a vice chair. The previous vice chair is no longer a member of the council, she was former councillor Semple. So my only worry there is you would be slightly going against that policy because it wouldn't be the chair and technically there's no chair and vice chair of personnel right now. You could take the view that that committee was passed 18 months ago. There's a 6 months rule on policy making via minutes.
Make it new policy.
And therefore you can change it.
In my view, yeah, 18 months has gone, so you could revisit that policy if you wish to. And the report's on the agenda for the review of the process, so that would allow you to do that.
Can I just suggest something? Can we not just adapt the policy by putting in brackets, if available? You know, the chair and the vice chair, and technically at the moment the chair and the vice chair wouldn't be available because they haven't been appointed. It's not a massive amendment of the policy at that point. It's allowing for operational problems because of people not being available, training not having been given. If you put the if available clause in.
I think from what I've just whispered in the ear, the simplest thing to say is that we have 1 member from each group, irrelevant of what other committee they're on. That's the simplest thing to do. And whatever their position is, it doesn't matter. That's constituted by a council, and that appraisal panel is 1 person from each political group. Doesn't matter whether they're on personnel or not, frankly, because then you end up with that getting tied in knots over a procedure about where people are coming from. This appraisal panel would effectively, because that's the element of what you're saying in paragraph 2, is that this is council as a whole appointing 4 people to do the appraisal of the clerk. That's basically what we're saying. And as long as there's 1 person from each group, then that's it. Doesn't matter what committees they're on then, does it? Just matters that they're trained properly.
Yeah, I think the wording of that policy perhaps isn't the best, because in theory, although we're saying it should be 1 member from each group, if the chair and vice chair were both, for instance, from the Labour group or from the MBI group,
Yeah, we'll work with it.
then we've already said plus another MBI, so there will be 3 people straight away on the appraisal panel. So I think we should just disregard chair and vice chair and just make it 1 member from each group.
So that would be in the, that would be
Are we saying we
constitution.
can't run the panel without 1 member from each group? Because if you're saying that, you can't have the panel involved. You would have to train Jim up, because he's his own group.
I think Councillor Brayshaw's moved in the second or third part of his proposal, the method of doing it within 4 weeks. And if the training can't be organised for the new people, then it goes ahead with the people who have had the training. But in going forward in the long term, it was before people are still arranged the training anyway. I think that's what we need.
That's exactly what I got to put down. That we go ahead with the 2 on this instance, because I think it's more important that we are prompt with the appraisal than it is getting everybody involved. But if we can get the training done in time, and Councillor Pilling and Ogden want to take the training and get involved, then they should be given the opportunity to do so.
That's it.
Just 2 questions I'd like to ask. How long does it take for the new groups to be decided in form? Because if that was from the last AGM meeting, that's been, 5-6 weeks? And who moves that forward? And how do we get the right people in the right place quicker? So this should not have happened, because I guess if we'd made the decision at the last meeting, we would be already ready to do appraisals. And it'd be great to know, when did you have your last appraisal, and what's the time period that you have appraisals in? How often do you have them?
Yeah, well, we should ask the person. That's a brilliant question.
So if I take those questions in reverse order, I had a formal appraisal in April last year. That was my annual one. So that was the last time I had a full appraisal. So I'm overdue an annual appraisal. In terms of your first question, could be argued that we should have had this on the agenda at the annual meeting, so I only handed for that. And then we might, well, you have to have a similar debate, but we should have been considering that. In terms of people who's going to be on the panel, it's up to the groups in terms to nominate their individual members on each committee. And that took quite a long time to do this year, because the main 2 groups on the council took a long time to get back to me, I have to say that. It took 3 weeks to sort that out, and then that's where we're at.
So, following on from that question then, if we've, does it have to be disbanded? Is there any sort of clause that allows you to carry on the groups that were from previous year to carry on until the new groups have been formed and confirmed and authorised? So it's like an extension of their roles then, and then that would make it easier, surely.
It would be, you're entirely right, Councillor Hutton. I think the problem, because of the change in membership, so former Councillor Semple was the Vice Chair of Personnel, and when that policy was returned, he's number 1 isn't on the council anymore, so he can't be the Vice Chair even if he was re-elected. And that's become the crux of the problem more than anything else. Other than that, you could have argued, if he'd still been a member, we could have carried on with the status quo, but he isn't even a member of the council anymore.
Linda?
Yes, I was just going to say, would it not be possible for us to review and then copy in the 2 new members? I mean, they wouldn't actually be able to do the appraisal, but they could be informed. Because normally when we do an appraisal, nobody else is informed. It's kept between employee and us. But if they're copied in, then there can't be any sort of accusations of just, going behind people's backs.
But they're not sitting on it, it's
so
part of their
on
training.
the committee.
No, I don't know.
No, because they would de facto be conducting the appraisal while they were there, wouldn't they?
Not if they were observing.
Can you observe without really influencing
Yes,
something?
I don't see why not.
Yes,
I
but
don't
if
see
they're
why not.
approved to be on appraisal panel anyway,
Yeah.
they would be under that confidentiality rule. It's just
You'd be all right.
like teachers observe and and then there's the whole rule about that. But I just think it would be a really interesting part of their training for them to actually physically see how an appraisal
Part of the
takes
training
place.
is explaining confidentiality. If you've not
Sure.
training, then
Hold on,
it's
hold on.
confidentiality.
How long does this appraisal take, this training? How long does the training
Well,
take?
that's the key question, is when could we arrange it for Jim and
You know,
and,
as soon as possible.
How long does it actually take, all the training?
2 hours. 2 hours.
2 hours? So,
Should be able to spend it if you want to.
yeah, exactly. Right.
We've done it now.
The ideal scenario from what we're discussing here is that this council appoints 4 people to the panel to be able to conduct the appraisal of the clerk, 1 from each political group. We know that 2 of you are already trained because we've done it, haven't we? The other 2 haven't been yet, from the UKIP group and from the Liberal Democrat group. The clerk will endeavour as best he can to get that 2 hours training done prior to the point when it takes place. Outside of that, then it shouldn't be beyond the wit of man to keep those 2 members who haven't yet received the training in the loop on it, should it? And David's just said that he'd be more than comfortable with those 2 councillors not taking part in the appraisal, but like I said, they're doing effectively an observation of it if they haven't yet received the training. They are bound by confidentiality as councillors, irrelevant of whether they're on an appraisal panel or not. Because all personnel matters are part 2 anyway, as you'll know under the terms of the Local Government Act. So, yeah, we'd like to get trained next week, wouldn't we? But, you know. So, that sounds fairly okay. Does that sound right to you?
Can I ask a question?
Oh, God.
Ask it to yourself.
Once it's not that pay rise.
Has your appraisal started?
We have a game we were just discussing then when you noticed us talking. You organise a training, I think you should offer that to certainly all members of the personnel committee or all members of the council. We effectively did that last time. I think about 7 people came. And then everybody who wants to come. So then if we're in this situation and there's membership changes, people who at least have had the training. And secondly, even if they're not on the panel, they understand the importance of it and the confidential nature of it, etc., and how it's going to work. So, the main 2 people will be Councillor Ogden and Councillor Billy, but I would invite everybody.
That sounds reasonable. Great idea, thanks, Abs. Right. So, are you happy that that's a resolution that we can coalesce around and vote on now?
You haven't answered my question. When will it be, sooner or later?
What the
Training.
training?
Which bit?
Yeah.
No, training.
Training will be as soon as humanly possible.
Right, you human.
Next April.
I like that.
And can I go back to the question of when the groups can be finalised then? Because will we be in this situation in a month's time? Or two?
No, because it's not dependent on who's on all the committees. This is a standalone committee that does the
But
appraisal.
none of the groups are still not being finalised. So is that
All-
the
all-
agenda for next time?
All the committees are being finalised now. That's all on our website. So all those names are being appointed. So that's not an issue. It's just this is an issue which has happened because of the changes of membership of some of the members really. So if can I just answer the question?
Yeah, that's fine.
Can I just say out loud what I think Councillor Brayshaw just moved and what you're about to vote on?
I'd be very happy for you to do. Yeah.
I'm not reading a lot down, but I think Councillor Brayshaw just moved that the appraisal policy be amended to say 1 member from each group on the clerk's appraisal. So that'll be 4 people.
Yeah.
So Labour person, NBI, UKIP and Liberal Democrat. People, you can't retake the training, the appraisal unless you have the appropriate training. And that in terms of continuity, that Councillor Mrs Brayshaw and Councillor Page as an NBI member be agreed on tonight as the members from the Labour group, the NBI group.
Yes.
I think that's what you just moved. And that if my appraisal will happen in 4 weeks' time or earlier, and if Councillor Pilling and Councillor Ogden haven't had the training by then, it takes place anyway, but they'd be allowed to sit in on it if they want to, as an observer.
I think Claire proposed that's sort of a friendly amendment.
It was a friendly amendment,
Yes,
really,
quite
yeah.
acceptable to me.
Also, I thought it would leave us less open to criticism about not having the other two groups on, because if they're at least observing, they are seeing what's going
So I'm
on.
quite happy with that.
So, yeah, everybody happy with that? Fabulous. Do you have a seconder? We'll choose Terry just for
Yeah, that happened.
just for a change. Right, in which case, let's vote on it. Right, all those in favour, this is unanimous, thank you very much. Right, so that is item 6, which used to be 7. Yes, sir.
Sorry,
There's more.
me again.
There's more.
I would also like to make another proposal. Again, due to recent events, I would like to propose that this council reconfirms that the town clerk's day-to-day line manager is deemed to be the chair of the personnel committee.
Seconded. It's worked well on the last 12 months, hasn't it? On all fronts. Anybody want to debate that proposition? No? Everyone happy with that? Would you like to move to a vote? Indeed. That's also unanimous. Thank you very much. There you go. It's dead easy. Right. I think that's the end of that item then.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Gosh. Right, now then, here we go. This is where it gets... Don't go anywhere.
Who's got to go where?
Right, don't go anywhere, because what we're going to do is we're going to deal with, obviously, the Planning and Development Environment Committee is on page 25 of your supporting paper, so you're probably best having it in front of you as we're running through it, so that you know which bits you are extricating and which bits you don't. So,
We'll leave now until last.
the approval of the minutes in general from this will be done in instalments effectively, because recommendations, most of them we can all be in here for. Some of them we're not going to be core on. We've had one in particular, isn't it? That's the one that we're going to struggle with. So, this is the bit where I hand over to David to talk us through his report, and we'll just be really careful not to move bits that members of...
Before we start, I think, sorry, Chairman,
Yeah,
I think the three members
three
who
members
are
from
interested
planning.
in us, we should go now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then...
And cabinet.
Now, Cabinet can stay for now until we get to the LD application.
That's fine.
Members of planning can't stay for any of this bit. Okay? Does that make sense? Yeah, so from my count, the people who are on planning, Carola, Ian, Claire, yeah, that's right, isn't it? Right, so once they've left the building, and there is now exactly others left, which still needs a quorum, that's champion. So basically, David, if you can run through all of your report,
Yeah,
but do not go anywhere near the LD application.
I'm scrubbing that.
Yeah, you don't go near it, don't even mention it,
Yeah.
then we can crack on as normal-ish. Okay, right, over to you now.
Thank you, Council, and I'm just going to refer you to the minutes from the Planning and Development and Environment Committee as dated 12th of June 2017. And what I'm going to do at this stage is refer you to minute number 2 on page 26 in regards to the planning applications, because subject to advice earlier this evening, it is we've got to advisable to eradicate this one for the purpose of this meeting and for transparency. We did have a good look at some of the planning applications, and minute number 2 is merely just to seek clarification in regard to a change of use of houses of multiple occupation into 4 flats. All that we wanted is to get some clarification about the nature of the flats to see that they are self-contained flats. On to number 3 in the planning applications. this is the old issue that comes up and up again, and it's our concerns about the change of use of a care home into a house for multiple occupation. We are always been greatly concerned about the amount of house and multiple occupation coming up in the West End, and we've always opposed them when appropriate, and it's not in accordance with the City Council desires for the West End. And as a ward councillor, I did question the planning officers on this one to see if it was worth requesting it to go before planning, and they assured me, or was led to believe, that they are going to oppose it anyway, recommend refusal. So all that we're doing is sending our thoughts on it to the planning officers. And on number 4, we didn't make any other objections to it, to any of the planning applications that evening. Go down to the bottom of page 26 into the next item, which is in regard to the allotment issues. Lots of issues have been going on, but we are starting to have more proactive meetings, and I know our clerk's been to a couple of meetings along with a couple of councillors to just get, so we can have a better working relationship with the West End and Heaton allotment committee. I'm hoping to go to the next meeting. But what we're doing at the moment is, what we're going to try and do is, what we are going to do rather is, we're going to organise some open mornings at the allotment committee prior to the end of July 2017, where town councillors and maybe the clerk can go to the allotments and just be there to speak to allotment holders. We're not there to be ear-bashed, but to hear any concerns or if we've got any issues that we need to deal with. And as you can see, they've done some good work as the allotment committee already, like appointing a welfare officer to have in state, and they're reviewing their health and safety, like the provision of the first aid box, and addressing other issues that have been going on in the allotments as well. Go to the top of page 27, and the Community Improvement Fund. This is quite good news, really, but it's a bit of money that we've got available. And if there's any members of the Town Council or even members of the public who've got any ideas of areas which we could spend money to upgrade or just make better, just get in contact with us. We are going to try and advertise this on social media. I've already done it myself, but also on town council notice boards as well across the district. I think we do need to have a look at them actually, and I think we just need to refresh them or revisit them and put a bit more about what we're doing, and that is an ideal thing to put on the notice boards. Minute number 8, Walking in Bloom. A lot of good work's been done here, and well done to Abigail for the work you've been doing, and our town clerk. I think a lot of work's been put into this. But what we just need to do in the before the judges come round is tidy up some areas. So if there's any areas that you think need tidying up across the town, just let us know, and the City Council will come and tidy it up. And thank you for that. Other issues we discussed were about rubbish in certain areas, and I think particularly in Colton and West End, I think these were raised at the liaison meeting anyway, but I think this is an issue we do need to keep on top of and keep a dialogue with the City Council. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Brilliantly done. So we're moving them on. Do we have a seconder for the proposition? Anyone from free for that one? Got any questions on David's report about those specific minutes in the right, I'll go across that way.
It's not really a question, it's just a comment that with regards to fly tipping, etc., the city are piloting a scheme where mobile cameras being played, and they're very, very affordable. So we're talking less than £1,000. So if it was deemed a priority, the town council in areas, because obviously the city aren't going to buy enough. They need them on every street, but if that's maybe something finance can look at, if it's a priority that comes from your committee, David, then.
Right.
Yeah, these digital things that do like time-lapse photography.
They're provided by Vodafone. They're on a SIM card. They go into the cloud, and they're just tiny little cameras. They're less than £1,000.
Mobile.
And mobile, yes. Yeah,
An
yeah,
email
not
with
static.
you if you know any hotspots.
We're trying 2 at the minute, so hold that on the emails. Hold on.
Yeah.
Actually, go through
Go
dates
through
anyway.
Yeah, keep it
Enforcement,
within
yeah.
council. Specifically on that one, yeah.
Well, on Councillor Patterson's point, if you've got any hotspots, just tell us about them. We haven't got the trucks and the people to go and move it, but we've got the connections to try and do that. So just tell us.
Cool. And you had another point as well, Matt, yeah?
Yeah, Councillor Whittaker and myself are taking up where we left off last year, Weedall Street. So like David said, if you know any areas with the kids at Ishmael School, we're waiting for us to give the nod, and then we're off doing a street at a time.
Yeah, brilliant. And I've said it 100 times in lots of different councils, but we've got some really good cadet forces around here that do lots of work like that, so keep in touch with your cadet forces in clubs and all the other bits and pieces, because they do some sterling work. And of course there's still the Pride in Your Town scheme that the City Council do, and we should engage with that as well, because that's really important. Was it Terry or Tracy? Terry?
Well, as an observation on the last bit of 8, yeah, we haven't got a lot of flighters doing Poland. It's usually in back alleys. But one of the main problems, especially around the centre, is weeds. Now, there was supposed to be sprayed. Was it only the main streets that were sprayed, not the residential areas? We've got flower dandelion things that are this high and nettles. I'm sick of digging them up on our street. And ours isn't the only one. And now we've got little yellow flowers on the pretty.
I think the clerk can pass those concerns on to probably the cabinet member for Clean and Green, I suspect.
Or straight to Mark, actually.
Or straight to Mark there.
Will Griffiths.
Because it's operational, that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, about the...
My understanding is, and I hope I'm not, said the City Council will get this wrong, my understanding is they've used a quad bike to do the weeding, and they've been trying to do every street, not just certain streets. So that's my understanding. So they should have done the street.
You have to put them going that fast.
No, they've not. They've not been anywhere near our block.
Well,
I'm not
I'm only saying what.
I'm not sure they've done Polton yet, to be absolutely sure. I don't think they've done Polton yet.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, if they don't do Poland soon, the quad bikes are no good, they'll need machetes. I spent about 40 quid at an hour weekend on our street.
They did. Second, carry on.
Yeah, please do.
Well, that's really good. This is coming out because I can feed that back to Mr. Davis. Secondly, we all need to accept, I'm sure we do, that weed spray won't kill all the weeds. It will kill a lot of them, especially this road, they'll keep growing. So they're going to do 2 sprays, I think, over the course of the summer. That's what he said. But in terms of linking it all into Morecambe and Bloom, we should, I said this in the liaison meeting this morning, I know we want to win the gold medal, it should just be about 1 day in the year, and it's red. So I want the town to look nice, 365 days if possible. So feed those things back to Abigail with me, with the streets you're really bothered about, and we can try and deal with that through the City Council. Or there's some other ideas that we've been thinking about, which may be able to help us, and we can talk to some of the community groups who might be able to help us. So please just let me know which the
It's literally our block from the back of the Morecambe to Clark Street.
I did actually
And
move in
Nelson Street, they've got blackberries growing.
I did move in full council and asked councillors to contact me or Mark direct about hotspots.
I've spoken to Mark.
And there's only two councillors that have contacted on the whole council.
Right, so everybody gets stuck in and start contacting.
Yeah.
From Morecambe Town Council, contact Clark, then they can do the operational liaison with Mark and make sure the boys on the track, the quad bikes get around. I've got Debs and
The trouble is,
Tracy.
Darren, it's not in the gutters. the abutting the houses, they're on the pavement.
Oh yeah, they're right in the corner house, I see it all the time, right? But I'm not in Morecambe Town Council, That's interesting.
Just to share with, I was at the liaison meeting today and I did have a question why we don't have our own PPE equipment, and I think the vehicles at that, but for me that could be me out there and I'd be quite happy weeding, but that's something they can't allow us to do. But they did ask us to consider about the finances, which I know it may not be possible, or if it's something where extra money is coming in, is that something for the future to be put back into the pot, because it's always a hot potato.
Stress.
And a couple of positives, Brendan. There was a bit of a dumping spot going on Westgate. I instantly phoned up people and it was cleared away, but within hours. They were great, straight out there, got rid of all the rubbish and the grot and the dumping stuff that had gone on. And these residents on this particular housing area have been trying to do this for a good number of months, but nobody would do it. But that was a great positive. And another positive is the fact that the west end of Morecambe, the garden areas, was looking absolutely beautiful this week. Absolutely beautiful.
Almost summer planting.
Yeah, almost old-fashioned postcard looking, and you see all the old gardens and how they look. It was really beautiful.
I will pass that on to you.
Already. Dave's got some more information.
I just wanted to listen to everything that's said. Obviously, it's only 3 weeks off to the big day this year, so there's a limit to the extra things we can do in 3 weeks. Just so you know where we're at, and then we can be a little bit pragmatic. We met the City Council on Friday, last Friday, every other meeting, so we've agreed with them a standing list, as they're calling it. So this is just based on our observations. It includes some of the places you've mentioned tonight, but not all of them. And they're going to be tackling these things. So they are going to be a little bit around where Councillor Metcalfe talked about, but not all that block. We have mentioned Holton Road and going to Lower Street, those big overgrown bushes and stuff. They've finally agreed, the City Council, there's been arguments for about 12 months as who's responsible whose responsibility are the roundabouts. Will be the Highways Authority and the City Councils, or whose? So the city, to be fair, taking the bull by the horns, there's still a doubt there, and they're going to be tidying up the roundabouts on Central Drive and the one here. That's a positive, because last year they looked a mess. That's my personal view all through the summer. So there's this snagging list going on, and they're going to do the best to do everything, and I'm sure they will. So going forward, listening to the liaison meeting this morning, Councillor Hutton's view about more spraying, and we could do that, etc., etc. I think moving forward and being more pragmatic, we need as a council to sort of review what we're doing on linked to all this in bloom stuff, and maybe sort of re-prioritise exactly what we do and how we can do that even better next year. It is really hard to engage the community. Some of you are really good at that. It's difficult to do that and get loads of people running around doing things. So we can engage the community, but that isn't the only answer. I think part of the answer is resourcing and partnership working. And I just think we need to, with the City Council as well, be a bit more pragmatic how we can talk to them, and maybe a little bit more demanding at times if we can. I just think this morning for the liaison meeting that we say what we say our view, and the city will say their view. I mean, I understand that, and the twain does meet, and the Mark Davis's department is fantastic. But I think we need to work harder with them to push them harder and rethink how we do things.
I can help you with that.
Yeah,
You've included me in some emails.
I'm not criticising the city, they've been really good this year, it's been fantastic, but I just think we need to rethink how we do it a little bit. I think the weeds will be better this year, but it still won't be perfect. And I'm really conscious as the clerk that there's a route that these judges go around, so it's a bit like when royalty comes, that's going to look really good. But there'll be other parts of the town where people live won't look so great, and that's not right really. And there's only so many resources, I know that, so it's just trying to get that balance really.
It's quite right, as you pointed out, we want all of them to look fantastic. That's what we're after. Yeah, do you have another point, Max?
Yeah, just a quick one. Debbie, if the City Council are really good at a man coming in a van with all the tools and the gloves, so, you know, if you want to come and help us or if you want to get a group yourself, yeah, it's really good, yeah. Get it.
Press.
Right, marvellous. So we've proposed, we've seconded, we've had a bit of debate. Can we move to a vote on those propositions that have been moved by David and his seconder up to this point, please? So all those members in favour? That's 9 people. That's good. Right. So those are all moved. Given that item number 1, the recommendation number 1 on the bottom of 25 and going over to 26 at the top would require 3 people to leave the room and therefore be in quorum, I will now basically close the meeting and inform everybody that the date of the next meeting is Thursday, the 20th of July 2017. Here, of course, as usual, at 7 o'clock. That will be an ordinary meeting, so usual stuff. I'll now close the meeting. Of course, as we pointed out earlier on, that item will get forwarded to the City Council. The committee will have the
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.